Hello everyone, hello Twitch, hello YouTube, welcome to the stream. Today we are taking a first look at the brand new Creality Ender 3 V3 KE, a 3D printer that's supposed to be usable so much easier with Wi-Fi connectivity and autobed leveling. So let's get started. And I want to welcome everyone who's just joining in to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Today we're gonna do this pretty chilled out. I'm here in my basement studio, currently building and changing around a lot of things, so hop on in. And while we have people joining into the stream, yeah, I wanna let you know we're doing this in parallel, streaming on Twitch and also YouTube. So if you are joining from Twitch, welcome Twitch. If you're joining from YouTube, welcome YouTube. Happy to have you here. And the chat is always visible here in this corner of the screen. So you're gonna see everyone's chat from YouTube and from Twitch in parallel, so you're not missing out on anything. Before we get started, I want to let you know that this printer has been sent to me by Creality this week. So I want to thank Creality for sending this printer out to me for free. So we're going to take a look, but still, this is a completely unbiased review, as every time, if you know me and my channel, I am pretty honest. If something's not going well, if something's wrong, and this is not going to be any different. So let's have a look at this printer. Let's have some fun printing a first test print and getting it to run. I'm pretty much the most curious about how easy this thing is to be set up, and especially Wi-Fi and internet connectivity things, using it with an app. So instead of having to have a computer all the time, I think that's also what I'm mostly interested in, because from a hardware perspective, this printer is pretty much very much like all the other Ender 3 models. So it has the sprite extruder. It's printing, I think, supposedly 500 millimeters per second, so it's quite fast. So from that perspective, this is the same, but the KE in the version 3 is about the more intelligent, smart features, having the autobed leveling, and then also having the internet connectivity, and then possibly you can add, later on, you can add a smart camera to yeah, watch your printer printing, and also have some AI features. So the printer is gonna stop printing. But I think we're gonna figure out if the camera is already in this package. I have honestly no idea. I asked Creality about it, but I think it was too late. They already shipped the package. So let's see what we get with this printer. So I want to welcome everyone. So let's see who's in the chat. Let's welcome everyone here. People on Twitch, people on YouTube. Let me know if you're lurking in the background. Say hello to everyone. Maybe let me know where you're coming from, where you're watching from. I'm always eager to hear that. And by the way, welcome to 2024, right? So first video this year. I'm pretty excited. I'm still changing a lot of stuff. I was building a lot of stuff in the studio in the last couple of weeks. For example, if you've seen previous videos, I've increased the depth of my shelf here, so I can place some printers here. It's now deeper, it's 60 centimeters, and I'm doing the same here on the left-hand side. We're gonna have a lower shelf instead of the high shelf. Lots of changes coming in the next couple of weeks, and yeah, I'm pretty excited to revamp the studio over the next couple of weeks into a more usable, more practical studio for 3D printing. So without further ado, just want to let you, just want to hear from you. Can you hear me well? Can you see me? Drop a few comments in the chat so we can see whether this is working or not. Welcome, William, to the stream. Where you're coming from? Happy to see you, the first chatter today. And then let's go. So let me get my cutter knife out here. Let's see what we get in the box. Let's take a look. Opening up this package. You've probably seen that on my channel I had pretty much, I mean, I can't even remember how many different Ender 3 versions I had here, but it must have been a couple, and I'm pretty interested in to see how it evolves over time. The last version that I've been really productively using was the Ender 3 V2, and then I was kind of tempted to get the Ender 3 version 3, but I was still waiting for something that is a little more advanced, a little more clever, and I think this might be the version that I've been waiting for. So let's take a look what we get here. We have a quick instruction guide, quick installation guide, which we're gonna take a look in a second. And then, yeah, the usual sample filament, not a lot of filament. A replacement nozzle, I can see here, the usual clipper, and some USB stick. So we're gonna take that out in a second. Just wanna get going like with the physical parts here. Yeah, the touch screen, that's new. In version 2 we had a, it was looking like a touch screen, but it was still more or less a screen with a knob to turn. And so the newer printers have touch screens. And a good reminder here, before applying the power, please check the input voltage, and we probably want to check that setting on the power supply before we put in the power, not to destroy this printer. We have 220 volts in Germany versus 110 in the US. European power cable, that's good. And yeah, let's see which are the parts. This seems to be the filament holder, the spool holder, and a filament sensor attached directly to the spool holder. A few parts that we probably need to assemble. Let's see, I think the extruder is already fixed to the gantry. Looks good. So let's take the first bigger piece out. Let's see if this is somehow attached or if it's, yeah. Okay, so no cables are attached yet to this part. This is the gantry, the extruder here, and the Z-axis drive, which seems to be synchronized using one motor, and a belt drive that runs along the upper end of the gantry here, driving both Z-axis lead screws synchronized. That's much better for, yeah, if you have higher weight here on the gantry, which this might be actually a little bit more weight than the usual, but we'll see. But it shouldn't be too heavy, otherwise it couldn't be very fast, obviously. What you can also see, I think it's easier to see when this is still not attached to the printer, is that the motor, it's in a different position than on previous versions. It's interesting. So the X runs in front of the motor, and in the older versions the motor was sitting here on the side, more or less. Then we have a, yeah, what interesting change and really welcome update is that we have a linear rail here for the Z-axis instead of these old, good old rubber wheels. The V-rails have been replaced by a metal rail, a linear rail. That's pretty much, yeah, the thing that I would do on my other printers as well if I were upgrading my Ender 3s to something more fast. Definitely the linear rail would be an upgrade that I would be going for. This is really great. So I expect this to be really improved in terms of the performance. Still, we have the good old V-rail drive here on the Z-axis, but that doesn't really matter because it's not moving that fast. Still over time, these rubber wheels might need to be replaced after a few thousand hours of printing, but if you reach that point, then you're really lucky. Let's see how this gets all assembled. So I'm putting this to the side first. Let's see who's in the chat. Nightbot has posted you. Yeah, just want to remind everyone here that we have a Discord server where we can discuss anything 3D printing related. So hop over on the Discord server if you're interested to talk to other 3D printer users, some of the moderators, and yeah, we can chat there about anything. There's a quite huge community of people helping one another if you want to ask questions, or if you are ready to help other people with questions on the things that you are more experienced. I would be happy to see some more people coming over to the Discord. Welcome, Polypetalus. Interested in this machine? I'm still rocking an 8.8. You're not serious about that? My goodness. A good old ANIT. Is that really true? Can't believe that, honestly. I mean, I still have my original ANIT A8. It's still sitting somewhere underneath one of the studio tables, but not used by, not seriously used since probably 3 years. So let's get this base part out. Nothing else is in the box. Okay, so we don't need that anymore. Put this to the side. So we have to clean up a little bit in a second. Let's put all the foamy parts here away, so I'm not gonna fall over the stuff. Okay, so get it out of the way. Fine. So that's what we get with the printer. I would say let's place everything in reach, so we can now start reading the guide, taking a look how this is all coming together. So from an unboxing perspective, that's easy to do. As always, some foam packaging has to be removed, but taking out the printer shouldn't be a big deal. So a few more foamies here under the print bed. Yeah, anyways, let me know. Devon Posey, hello. Hello, Devon, where coming from? William, is there only Wi-Fi on it or also cable connection? I'm gonna check out in a second. Let me see this. This is a good question. The electronics of this printer should be in the base. Everything should be located in this lower part. So we have the power switch. I want to make sure that we are on 220. I'm not. It's very dark. This little switch here. Yeah, we're good with 220 volt here. So what are the connections on this printer? Here on the side we have nothing. This is probably the screen mount. At the front there's nothing. On the side there is the power plug. And on the back we basically only have the power switch or the power setting. So nothing in terms of Ethernet if you were looking for that. So no Ethernet connection. I guess this only supports Wi-Fi then. Yeah, maybe for a more professional use, Ethernet connection clearly would be the better thing. For a little more stability. But let's see. Next part here. I'm gonna take a look at the quick start guide. How are we gonna set this up? I'm always interested to see how is the manual, how is it written? Here they write about the Creality Cloud app. I already installed the app and I already have an account. So we're gonna add the printer to my account in a minute. Once we got the physical things prepared. We have a USB flash disk, but that's not going into the printer. That's a little confusing. You're gonna USB stick here with probably some software on, most likely the slicing program and maybe some example models, but this printer, at least at first sight, I don't see any physical USB port unless I have missed it. Yeah, we have it on the screen, so on the screen side we have USB ports, so that should be our connection. And we have a USB-C plug here on the screen's back, so I'm curious how this is going to work. Is this going to be something that we can use to connect this to a computer, to drive it from the computer, sending G-code commands to the printer? Yeah, probably need that to get that figured out in the future. So with the parts list, we have to assemble the gantry first, and it's explained here in the manual. Gantry frame. What do we need to do? The gantry is placed in the base card slot and the broken material detection port is passed through the bottom shell pair interface and it's fixed with M314 screws. Okay. It's a little weird in terms of the wording, honestly. the wording is a little weird. I think I can figure it out. In the base slot, yeah, I mean, yeah, this sounds reasonable. We have a little cable here. As far as I understood, we need to place this gantry here on top, but we also need to pass this little cable here through a slot here. There's a little hole. So we need to pass this through and then probably connect it somewhere on the bottom. So let's first do passing the cable through, and then we're slowly pushing the frame into the bottom. Okay, so this is the first step. And how can we now fix this whole thing? There seems to be two screws here. Secure the bottom shell with M314 screws. So let's see, where are the screws? Probably in some of the bags here. And guys, let me know if anything's going wrong, if you can't hear me, or if you have any dropped frames. As far as I see, the stream seems to work fine. 3 DHPs of welcome back from Las Vegas. So we have a few screws here, but not so many. The interesting question is, there should be more. There should be a few more, if I'm not wrong, to secure this whole thing in place. There we go. So just need to figure out which ones we need where. Let us see. Here's another cable. It's probably going into the motor. I'm wondering if there's anything to be done from the lower end, for the bottom. Secure the bottom shell and gantry with M38 screws. M38 and M314. So these are probably the 14mm screws. Yes. And then we should have a few shorter ones. So the idea should be mounting this from the bottom. needs to be holes here. Yeah, you can't see this at the moment, and I want the printer to its so the opposite side. I can show it to you maybe from this perspective here. Let me see if we can make that happen. It's maybe a little better. So this printer is on the side. Here we have the first 3 screw holes, and there's another 3 here. And there's a plug. I think there is some connection to be done here. Gonna figure that out in a second. Let's first secure the upper gantry using the M3 screws. Starting here. Yeah, so let's not fix them yet. Just get everything slightly attached. So we're hitting all the right holes here, and especially the threads. Yeah, seems to be good. Now we're securing this first one. So everything is tight. Now the second one. Here we go, and then we should have some connection. Here is a connecting cable that we need to plug in. This is, I'm not sure what this is. It's probably the filament sensor. Yeah, that was the filament sensor. Okay, so cable should be staying here. Then another 3 M3 14 screws. So, I'm gonna answer your questions in a second. Can't read them from here. But keep posting your questions in the chat. I will be there in a second. Just securing these 3 screws first. So we have everything that's to be done from the bottom side of things. So we can put this printer back on the feet. Good. Let's turn it straight again. This cable is somewhat coming out to the side, I guess. Yeah. Good. Fine. Let's look at your questions. Yusum Ben, I hope I'm speaking your name correctly. Yusum Ben is asking, what's the max speed printing? Supposed to be 500 millimeters per second of print speed. We're gonna figure out how fast we can print, and once we got everything plugged in. So let's continue as the manual says. We have 2 more screws here that we need to fix into the frame. I guess these are the right ones. Additionally holding this piece in place. Not sure why there's additional screws here, but probably better to have more securing these plastic parts, because my experience with Sovol printers, for example, has been that even though everything is perfectly tight, you still have vibrations, and mostly with the parts that are touching metal parts, plastic parts touching metal parts, especially when the printer runs super fast with high acceleration, these plastic parts are gonna like vibrate against the metal frame. So it's good to have everything securely attached. Otherwise the printer is just gonna be annoyingly loud for no reason. So we secure the bottom shell and gantry frame with these additional 2 screws. We did that. Display. Put the display screen on the right side of the bottom assembly, align the screw holes and secure with M410 screws. Then connect the display wiring. Good. We have 2 or 3. Guess this is the 3 ones. And we're gonna attach the screen. Ideally this way, so we can see where this is going. What screwdriver do we need? Yeah, it's all 2.5 hex. I probably want to put this through here first. It's a little fiddly to reach that. So maybe double check the magnetizing. Yeah. That's why I love these tools so much, because it's so much easier to assemble anything compared to using these hex drivers that you usually get with 3D printers. They are so difficult to use. Tedious. So here we go. Getting the first one in. Number 2. And number 3. So even though this is a beginner 3D printer, you see there is at least a few things to do. So cable plugged in. That's done. Mounted cable is plugged in. Then we need the spool holder, material rack and filament detection assemblies. That's on the next page. So I'm going to put the printer upright again. So the spool holder. If I'm not wrong, something's missing here. Should be some kind of plastic piece in the box. I'm not wrong. For holding the spool. Sorry that I'm diving under the table, but I'm missing one little thing. Here we go. Was still hiding in the foam. This piece here. So we need that. Now, how is this going to be attached? Let's do the orientation correctly. So it is completely vertical. Filament is going through the sensor part here. Where is it going? How is this sitting there? I'm curious. Should be going to the front if I'm not wrong. Yeah, that might be the right orientation, hopefully. Yeah, looks so at least. Where is the sensor pointing? It should be somewhat tilted to the front, if I'm not wrong. Cable's coming from this side, so we're gonna assemble this first. Having it first attached to the frame. That's too small. One. Oh my goodness. Here we go. There we go. First one is in. Second one. Coming in. So we get the filament spool holder attached. You're plugging in this cable here. That's fine. Now we need the spool. holder, or at least the part where the spool is sitting on, going through this metal part here, and we are attaching it with this little screw here, or nut, if you want to call it that way. So there seems to be that the filament spool is sitting towards the back of the printer, and then the filament runs through the sensor. I'm curious if this is going to work. Well, that's a little confusing. That's a little confusing, honestly. Okay, they have shown it in the picture. It's actually the opposite direction, so it should be pointing in the other direction. That's a little confusing in the manual. I didn't see this at the first glance, that the printer in the manual is turned around. So it's actually this way. Makes more sense, honestly, makes more sense. But that's an easy fix. So it's pointing to the front. Now it makes more sense to me. Good. Can we get the screw in? Here we go. Yeah, filament goes this direction. This makes sense. Good. Next step in the manual. What are we supposed to do now? We have a few more wires to do. We have to wire up the hot end. It's called equipment wiring. Here we are reminded again about the power supply, that we should make sure that we have the right setting for 220 volt in my case. So they are luckily, they're pretty serious about this, and this is good. So the cable comes in from the top, and this is the hot end connection cable. There is a little slot here, and we are securing it, pushing it in. Then we have these two levers here securing the cable, so it's not moving out. There's another one here. This is probably going to the Z-axis motor. Here's the plug. I'm just finding the right orientation, and here we have the cable. Wondering if this is at some point secured to the frame, or if it's just hanging around here. There is something. There's one piece that is used to secure this in place, which makes totally sense to have it fixed to the frame. How is it done? Okay, so we should make sure that the cable is fixed here at this position. Question is, how do we get this into the slot here? I can show it to you. Let's take a look together. Now there's a little cable slot here, which is holding the cable in place. Supposed to do this. There we go. So this cable should be held in place by this bracket here. We need to slide it in somehow without bending it too much, obviously. Let's do this. I guess we can slide it in. Does this really make sense? Yeah. It's pushed a little bit, so there's a little bit pressure on this. It's also hopefully not touching the lead screw here. I don't think we have contact here. I'm gonna take from the other side. I'm I'll take a look. Are we touching anything here? No. Okay, I think we're good. I think we're good. So, inserting the cable. Cable must be under the extruder. Yeah, you're right. But we can do that. Let's go here. Makes sense, otherwise it would be stuck, right? Nothing would be going downwards. So this makes more sense. Thank you for the hint. It's always good to have people watching and doing me preventing me from doing anything stupid. Stop him, Facebook smiling. Yeah. The Bob is still working with an Ender 3 Pro, not the old one. So you mean the old one with the 8-bit mainboard still? Okay, so we should be free to move this up and down now. I hope so. So in this direction, everything seems to be working fine. Still, I have a little bit of doubts about the filament. I mean, it should be going to the back. And on this side, if you take a look from the top, it's hard to see. Not easy to see, but once we have the extruder in the very most upper position here, the filament has to go a very short path between the sensor and the inlet. So this is definitely under 10 centimeters. I'm wondering if the filament will be stretched out very much or stressed while this is moving. So once we are in the very upper position printing something very high, mounting the filament sensor in this position, I've always moved these filament sensors down towards the filament spool and removing the filament spool from the top of the printer, but maybe it's all good. Just my personal opinion here. Okay. I have upgraded to 32-bit. Well, honestly, the printer got a huge upgrade in any aspect. Yeah, I can imagine. Everyone who has probably has an Ender 3 for a while, for a few years, you're probably updating your printer over time, and you probably have something that's much better than the original state where you got this printer. But everyone is now super curious about this printer, how this is working. So let's remove the sticker from the touch screen. Can we do this? Okay, sticker is off. Now it's supposed to plug in the power. I'm using my own cable here. Power is plugged in. Not yet starting up. I want to show it to everyone. And want to use my front camera so we have a little bit better view on this. Good. So let's take a look. Let's take a look. Here we go. So let's switch on the printer. Well, I can hear the Creality Touch moving. Once you start the printer, it's doing a self-test. That did work. The printer is booting. Question is, can you see the screen? Let's move this. Now you should see it. It's booting. Let's select English. Next. Yes, I have read the privacy policy. Next. Select your network. Okay. Let's do this briefly. setting up my network, but I'm not showing you my password. Not showing you my password. Da, 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 da. What is kind of a weird keyboard here? Let's see if this works. Okay, next. Time zone, UTC. Okay, let's set up the time zone. Hello. Hello, more people are joining. Welcome. The Bob has a more comments. You nailed it. I'm super curious. Crosslink with Nebula Smart Kit screen you can mount on the old Enders and run their version of Clipper. Yeah. I've seen this. There's so many Clipper upgrades now available with Clipper screens, external Clipper screens, or directly attached Clipper screens. And it's the next question is it running on Clipper? That's a very good question because Creality is calling this Creality OS. And my guess is, yeah, this is kind of a modified version of Clipper. It's not Marlin anymore. But definitely they have their own version of the firmware, a special firmware that's probably based on Clipper, but I have no insights in the actual software that is running on this printer. We'll see how good this is. The version of the Ender are really confusing. Yeah, that's right. There's so many different versions now. Ender 3, V3, SE, KE, and who knows what. So we're following the manual here. And the next step here is supposed to be load filament. Right? Let's see. So load filament is next step. We have to set the time zone here. UTC +1. Next step. Bind the Creality Cloud. Okay, so I can now go and scan this thing with my smartphone. How is it done? Add my device. It is Ender 3 KE. Yes. Yes. Allow. Go. Name the device. Okay, it's Ender 3 V3 KE. Done. Finish. And I don't know if you can see this. It's probably a little bit too bright. We're gonna put it on the screen in a second. It's bound to my smartphone now. And we will do a printer self-check. So let's just do that. Start the, place the printing platform. Yes, done. And we start a self-test. So let's see if the printer survives this and does it successfully. Okay. Let's see if we can bring up my face camera. No, that's wrong. Okay, so I can talk to you while we are doing this self-test here. Fine. So let's see the self-test running. Yeah, if they call it Creality OS, it's Clipper for sure. That's also my best guess here. it's their version, and the one they already use on the K1 Max, they claim that this version can also be rooted. Okay, that's surprising. But yeah, if Creality is open for that, I'm happy to see people modding it and maybe installing their own version there. Mootronic says they mean Clipper Edition with KE. Interesting. Why don't they just write that it's running Clipper? They have to come up with a fancy abbreviation. Just type your IP into your browser and you're on it. So let's try that. Let's actually try that. Let's figure out the IP address first. Should be on my network. Let's see if we can find it. Here we go. Oh, it's not probably this. I'm not sure. It's probably another Clipper. No, this is my other Clipper printer. Just trying to figure out if this has a distinguished name on the network, but it seems not. Okay, so we're gonna figure it out through the printer menu then. While the printer is doing this self-test, I'm probably not able to see anything in that regard. No. So we have to wait until this is done. Self-test. I can smell that the printer is heating up. It's smelling a little plasticky. P. Postman, since you are live, I want to thank you for all the content. Help me out a lot. Happy to help anytime. I've just haven't been able to create real, like, polished videos in the last couple of months because life. It's not enough time at the moment. But I have time to do the live streams, which for me is a little bit easier to do. And we can still have fun together. And I like the aspect of being live and chatting with you and having people really interacting with me in real time versus me just polishing and editing videos, or having someone now to edit the videos, which I'm super happy about. But still, the level of interaction is much lower, and like, you still can comment on my videos, and I'm trying to answer questions, but this way, I definitely can do more and be more interactive with you guys, and I really love that a lot more. I also want to tell you that on Twitch, we have a new system running, which is giving you points for watching. And these are called nozzles. So if I'm here on Twitch, you can see this in the chat. At least you can see it on the screen. If I hit exclamation mark nozzles, in the Twitch chat, you will see that it will tell me Daniel Crosslink has 0 nozzles and is ranked 26 of 26 on the leaderboard. That means I'm not earning nozzles because I'm not watching my own stream. But if you are watching from Twitch, you can earn these nozzles. I think you could get a nozzle every 5 minutes or something. You can earn one. And the longer that you watch, the more nozzles you collect on Twitch. It's not working on YouTube, unfortunately. And I decided that all these interactive things we do on Twitch in the future, we can. I figure this it's definitely easier for me to do that. And then once, like, we have done this several times now, we do a couple more streams until we really want to use the nozzles. You can then decide to spend your nozzles on giveaways. So let's say I'm gonna do a giveaway next month or something, or in the first quarter of 2024, and you decide that this is something that you want to participate in. And when we have a live stream, you can basically say, I have 100 nozzles and I want to spend 50 on the giveaway. That means if everyone gives 50 nozzles into the giveaway, they have the same chance of winning. So it doesn't mean that if you're entering with 1,000 and another person only has 5, that they cannot win, but it's like just the chances of, like, basically just doing more tickets into the giveaway. And that's how it's gonna work in the future, right? So, and I've seen this on other streamers, and I think it's a really nice way to engage the community and say, the longer you watch the live stream, the more nozzles you get, or the more points you get, and it's also fair that you can spend them while we are live, versus this totally being offline and asynchronous. It engages you to, at least hopefully, to watch live streams more and stay in the stream more, versus something completely decoupled. So I see the printer is now doing how many points? 25 points? Bed leveling? Yeah, Marco. It's not working on YouTube, unfortunately. It's only working on Twitch. So if you're watching from Twitch, and I highly encourage everyone to hop over on Twitch and start watching on Twitch to earn nozzles while the stream is still running. The auto level speed is fantastic. Yeah, I think it's actually pretty fast. But I have to claim that my personal clipperized Ender 3 V2 does it even faster. So you can probably tune it even faster. It's definitely gonna work. I have decided that I'm only doing one tap. So really just tapping once, moving to the next point. I think this is slower also because it's doing two double taps for more accuracy. But like when you compare all the values, you see that there's not much gain in terms of accuracy if you do two taps. So is it done? Self-test completed. Okay. So let's see, in the menu, we can probably load filament, and I'm trying to figure this out. I mean, there's a menu that tells me how to do it. Load filament. Perform nozzle warm-up. Okay, so we'll touch this. 215. Okay, so we're warming up the hot end. Let's take a random spool of filament. Maybe, I don't know. This here. We'll take Prusa Mint PLA Galaxy Purple. Looks awesome. I like it. So shiny. Okay, so let's take this filament. Let's put it on the spool holder. So maybe we want to clip the first few millimeters off because it's a little bulky there from the last removal. So how does this work? We're gonna feed this filament first through the sensor. And the first hurdle is if the filament is bent quite a lot, so it's like this, right? Super curvy. We want to make it straight first, carefully not breaking it. We want to make it a little more straight, just bending it in a different direction. So we have at least this part kind of straight. That makes it easier to push the filament through the sensor, but that's not special about this printer. This is true for all of the filament sensors. So next we push it into the hot end, and we can use this little lever switch here to push it in. And now, yeah, it's probably already coming out. And we can do this until we see the filament coming out. Just pulling the lever, pushing the filament a little bit down into the extruder. Yeah, we have a little nice pile of filament already at the bottom. Let's push this out. Come on. Here we go. So filament is already ready to print. And we can print something now. So question is how. Here in the manual it says we can use the flash drive. So I'm gonna take the flash drive that comes with the printer and put this into the screen's USB port. There we go. Okay, and now we can go to the file menu, hopefully. Select USB drive. And we have a little Benchy. Can you see this? I mean, the screen is very hard to read. I can see this. For you, it's hard to read. For me, it's hard to read. Here we go. So we have, here's the file menu, and then you select USB drive here at the top. So local is probably on the screen. I don't know, on the drive that's probably running the clipper. Then we have the USB drive, and then we have history, previous prints, nothing in there. So we have this first thing. So it says Benchy boat, or what is it? One boat. Okay, one boat. It's supposed to print in 16 minutes. At least it says here in this little menu. It's very small. Let's select this. Calibration, yeah, probably. Let's do the calibration, whatever that means. Probably bed leveling. And let's print this. So I'm gonna keep the camera pointed towards center. Now we have some more filament that we do not want here. Okay. So I will keep it pointed at the middle, and we're just gonna wait for it to happen. So first Benchy on this printer. Okay, I'm really curious if this printer is really capable of running a Benchy in 16 minutes, as it says on the display. So if you want to hear more of the printer's sound, let me do this for you. We'll turn on the other microphones here. We have one microphone that's directly up here. You can see this. It's directly above the table. There's this microphone. Yeah. Let's do one more change to this microphone. Let's set it to neutral. So it's not doing any noise reduction. So let's see. There should be no noise reduction on the microphone now. That's pretty accurate. Little too loud. It's not 100% accurate, the same loudness as it is in real life. Microphone is a little too sensitive, so maybe turn it. Yeah, this is more like it. I mean, you can never be super precise about that if you do this in a live stream, but you can compare the noise while it's still just heating up. We can see that cooling fans are running. Now the part cooling fans are disabled. You can see these are not running now. So let's see what comes out here. I'm very curious. Okay. So the printer has obviously left some filament here. Oh my goodness, what is happening? Oh, it's now doing bed leveling. Okay, so going over the platform one more time. A little bit of gunk here. So far, so good. Yeah, you can hear it. We need a macro cam near the nozzle. Let's take a look. Let's take a look. We can, like, while this is still calibrating, we can switch out the lens. Let me do that. I mean, it's not like we have so many lenses here. Then we should also use them, right? There's no point of not using the macro lenses that we have here. So, just a second. No problem. So, in a second we have it. Manual focus. Just give me a second. So, once you can get it in focus, you can see it hopefully. Okay. There we go. Is it sharp? I guess it's pretty sharp. Let me move my face out of the way. There we go. So, happy to do this for you. I'm also super happy that we now see a lot more of the detail. Probably want to do it a little more sharpen the image a little more. Maybe doing this. Increasing the f-stop. So, I have one more thing that I can do. So we can see a bit more. There we go, much better now. Exactly, better with more light on the nozzle. There you go, there you have it. Oh. So it is an Ender 3 with the speed of a bamboo lab. Well, could be, at least in the normal speed settings. But honestly, if you ask me about, does it make sense to compare speed benchy tests between different printers? Is it really that much valuable? I would say you will see with a bigger print, with longer prints, you will see the real difference if the printer is still capable of doing this without any tweaked settings, especially just for benchy tests. I mean, you can basically tweak your printer to print a benchy super fast, but then if you do something really serious, you might run into some issues. So I'm more curious to see this printer performing on bigger things. But it's seems to be doing a good job so far. Okay, so I'm gonna turn down the noise a bit. Let's enjoy the printer printing with music. Motronic, yeah, the printer is 289 in the EU, currently selling at, for example, 3D Jake, it's 296 €296 at 3D Jake, who's shipped worldwide. So for 300 bucks or under 300, you can probably not make any huge mistake here, especially if you get a discount around the holidays. So I mean, all of the Black Friday and New Year deals are now over, but probably there's gonna be something coming up in the next couple of weeks and months, and you can grab it for, I don't know, maybe 10–20% lower. So anyways, like, I wouldn't buy a 3D printer for normal price. There's always going to be some discounts at some point, so it's really worth checking it out and waiting for it. And Creality says so many printers coming out every single year that it is like, it's really worth waiting for some special discounts. So far, how many minutes are we into the print? Oh, the display went to sleep. Into 10 minutes? No, 7. Yeah, 7 minutes into the print. One thing about the display, that would be my only complaint, is that the display is very hard to read. Maybe we can increase the contrast on the display, but it's like it's gray text on a black screen, right? So you can imagine it's not easy to read. Yeah, the color is already, with the reflectiveness, at least shininess, is changing a little bit here on the hull. But honestly, we have to see the final result. This might be the usual change of speed at some points, where the filament is probably cooling down at a different speed. I mean, so far it looks okay. We'll see the final result in a moment. Taking a closer look. The next one you can test will probably be the Ender 3 V3 Core XY. Well, who knows what's coming. It is possible that there is a foil on it. Well, I have removed the protective cover, so there was a foil on it, a screen cover. This is this sheet here. That's what I definitely removed already, right? So that's not it. But I think it's just a contrast setting. Maybe we can increase the brightness. I don't want to touch it at the moment, but we'll take a look. I mean, it's not super bad. It's just that if you're using a camera and pointing the camera on it, the camera has different requirements. So the camera needs more light to come from the screen, so it's better visible. Human eye is more sensitive, but the camera is more difficult to use. So camera definitely, if you have other lights coming from the background and shining on the display and it's reflecting, it's super hard for the camera to pick up the screen. And you might be able to read it, but the camera cannot really record it well. It will come soon. I mean, a second one. What are you talking about? You mean a second foil on the screen? Let me check. I'm not sure. I can't really tell. However, I mean, we can maybe go into the settings here. We have a screen brightness setting that is now on maximum. I personally would say now it's better. You can't see it. I can't point the camera to this at the moment, but it's better now. With the highest brightness setting, it's a little better, I'd say. In the stream from 3D Print SOS, he pulled off a second one. Well, if there is actually a second foil on it, I can't really tell. But honestly, it's fine now. So it's probably the brightness setting is the thing. And I have super bright lights in here. So that means anything that's not shining enough, it's gonna appear very dark. In a studio like this, where you have like super bright lights, it's always going to be a little more tricky. Versus if you have this running in your room and you don't have these kind of 5600 Kelvin studio lights on, but more like a more relaxed, then it's definitely easier to see the screen. Good, we're making some progress here. I guess we're gonna be in the last few minutes of this print. So, this is actually a good question. What print speed do I want to look up the printer's IP address. Maybe we can take a look at the Clipper menu to see current print speeds. I'm really curious. I'm hoping we cannot interfere with the print in this way. So let's see, do we have any way to tell network IP? Okay, yeah, okay, now got it. Interesting question is it running on HTTP or HTTPS? We'll figure it out. There we go. Gonna show it to you in a second. I can tell you that the printer tells me. What does it tell me about the print speed? Not so much. Yeah, we'll take a look at a second. In a second, we can also, can also bring it to this. Here we go. So this is the screen. This is the software, Creality OS. So let me make it so you can still see this whole thing. Here we go. So this is the screen that you can see if you enter the IP address. However, if you're used to using Mainsail OS or something, Mainsail gives you all kind of data about acceleration, print speed. This is pretty much, except the percentage and the printing time, the remaining time, you don't get that, I would say, real-time information that you usually use to see from Mainsail OS, for example. So I would say, if you want to see that much more detailed information from Clipper, you probably have to install a different software, use a different software. But you see, this is a little bit limited in that regard. Creality OS is an advanced version of Clipper. Well, honestly, let's subtract the marketing, okay? Let's subtract the marketing. I would say it is Clipper branded for Creality. Advanced, I would say, well, what is exactly advanced? I would like to know, because I would say it is probably modified, a modified version of Clipper. And then rebranded a little bit to be advanced, right? So advanced in a way that, if I tell you that I have changed stuff in a software, I probably have some advancements. Yeah. Okay. A modified version, exactly. Good. Let me bring up the camera a tiny bit more. I think we're otherwise not gonna see the chimney. Good. Oh my goodness, the table is shaking, I can tell you. The table is shaking quite heavily now. My screens are shaking. I have two monitors here on two pressurized arms, or like hydraulic arms, and they are shaking like crazy because the printer is moving so fast. Yeah, you can probably only root it when a new firmware comes out with a new update. Well, I don't know if that's like kind of connected. Probably. The thing is, if you have access to the mainboard, I don't know how the mainboard looks exactly, but all the previous mainboards had, for example, had a way to install a custom firmware on it. My doubt is more that once you start modifying this thing, whether you can still use the screen, because what changed already with the version 2 or the Ender 3 v2 was that the firmware running on the printer and the software running on the screen were tightly coupled, and once you upgraded the Ender 3 V2 to Clipper, you basically lost the Ender 3 V2's screen because it's not supported by Clipper directly. So when they have, if they have done all these integrations now here for the custom screen and Clipper on the main board, and you start installing Clipper on the main board, you probably also lose the screen unless someone comes up with an idea how to do this. I don't know like how the communication between the screen and the main board works. I don't know also where Clipper is actually running. It's maybe running on the screen. So the main sail OS of Creality is probably running on the screen and Clipper is running on the firmware. But the communication protocol between the screen and Clipper, or how the screen displays stuff, I'm not sure if you're gonna keep that, or if you are going like, if you have to go all in and swap out, I don't know, a few parts to be able to run your own firmware. I don't know. We will see. Does it have some internal sensors to measure the vibration to compensate? Honestly, we need to look that up. And we're done. Gonna take a look at this question in a second. So let's take a closer look at this result. First of all, we want to zoom in or try to okay, now we're good, I guess. So this is the result. Still sticking quite well, so probably want to take a look while it's cooling down. So from this point of view, I would say the only concern here, the only thing that I can see is that we have a little roughness here in the upper parts of the bow. It's definitely a rougher surface, and you can even feel it. This down here, from the until you reach this point here, until you reach the this last layer here, it's pretty much perfect. It's very shiny, and then it starts to become very rough. Interesting enough, it's only on the outer shell and then not here. The boat house is not showing this kind of roughness. It's really just this section here. And the rest is pretty nice actually. So it's really just this section here that's had a little bit of an issue here with the, probably the print speed is causing this issue. The rest is pretty nice. Let's try to get it off. Okay, now Dreams. Let's take a look. Yeah, here you can see the it's a little too much light. Turn down. Okay, so is it really still sharp? Yeah. So you see, this is the section that has issues. But only here. Anything else I'm pretty happy with. And again, I think the boathouse and the chimney and all the rest don't have these artifacts or this roughness here. I mean, there's no other artifacts on this print. There's also no stringing happening. I don't know, can we read the letters? Yeah, kind of difficult to see this. But for a first test print, the printer did a good job, I would say. Table is shaking very much. Yeah, the table is shaking kind of, I don't know if this improves or makes the results worse. The table is doing a lot of vibrations, but it's probably not causing any problems with the printer. Nice. Okay, good. Good result for the first print. From that perspective, we want to take a look at the Creality software again. This was the screen that we've seen during the print. So not much information here shown in terms of the print speed or the acceleration, which is a little bit unfortunate because I would love to see this information. Maybe another software could visualize that. What I want to do now is I want to use the mobile app and see how the mobile app works with the printer and what we can see on the mobile app in terms of information during the print. So without doing much I'm not gonna do something super fancy here in terms of the prints that we will do. I just want to see the integration and the Wi-Fi. So let's switch on the phone screen now. Let me see if this is working. Where's my Miro software? Here we go. Is it working? Maybe I need to restart this. Okay, takes a second to load. Okay, iOS, Wi-Fi. Just want to briefly bring up the phone screen here. Okay. So let's try this. Super sketchy. Here we go. So we have the Creality app running. And so we can see the printing history. We've done a boat. So this is already on my app. And it's synchronized through this Creality cloud service. So let's find something else to print. Here on the app, we have some fancy models. Let's select something that is not multicolor. Maybe this little rabbit here. How long will it take to print? Single color print. Easter is already approaching super fast. How long until Easter? Not so much time. So let's see. Can we print this? Do we have to buy it? Is it free or add to cart, buy now? How can I buy this? Model price, coupons, total. Okay, so this is a paid model, obviously. It's kind of a marketplace that they have here, obviously. Can I filter for free stuff? Discount, easy to print. For you, yeah. Can I maybe filter for, I don't know, free stuff? Articulated shark. Is it free? This model has ready-to-use print files. Articulated. This is something we can print. Okay, let's just go for it. Print. Is my printer in the list? That's probably the problem, that we need our printer. Here we go. Ender 3 V3KE is in the list. Shall we do this? PLA. 1 hour and 23 minutes. Oh my goodness, why is this so slow? You see, it's not a tweaked Benchy, and the print time is probably more realistic here. Printing speeds, for example, we have here 300 millimeters per second print speed. Initial layer 150. Acceleration values for this print. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, so you see, this is an average print, right? So nothing special. I'm curious, can we do some more settings so we can tweak it to print faster? Batch slice. No, we just want to do one Where's the difference? Is there any difference? No. Slice it. My printers, yes. Okay. No, I want to just slice one. Slice, slice, slice. Speed settings. Okay, we're gonna do maybe 0.25 layer height. Infill, I don't know, 10%. No support. No build plate adhesion. Simple raft. A raft? Are you serious? No, not doing a raft. Maybe doing brim or something. Or maybe no. No build plate adhesion. Shell. Blah, blah, blah. Speed 300. Shall we go for 500? Yes, let's go. Let's do 500. Travel speed. Initial layer speed. Travel speed 400. Let's do this. Enable retraction. Retraction, blah, blah, blah. Retraction speed. Retraction is always a bummer. Like if you enable retraction, it's gonna increase the print time quite a lot. But I guess, with 0.8 millimeter retraction, okay. Temp nozzle, hotbed, vase. That's why you can tweak so many things in these speed benches. It's always very tricky. You can bump up the print speed quite a lot, but a lot of compromises. So I think we can just gonna go with this. Let's see if this is happening in any way. How much does it change now? Let's see how much time we saved. Slicing through my app. Quite impressive. So, does it tell me how long it will take? What? 1 hour 15. So we saved 5 minutes. Okay. So we didn't save a lot of time. So I'm wondering what we can tweak to save more time, honestly. I don't think that this should be taking so long, but maybe I'm also wrong. No, I don't wanna do this one more time. I think we're just gonna go for it. We had 1 hour 15 versus 1 hour 23. So I think the only way to increase the print speed is by increasing the acceleration. So that's probably the thing. What were the settings here? We had 5,000 millimeters, and I don't know if we can go much higher, honestly. 5,000 is pretty good, I would say. Pretty good. So I would say let's just go for this and let's see how it does. We can probably just turn up the print speed on the printer while it's doing this. Maybe we can do that. Strictly matching for you. Yeah. Please make sure there are no any model on a build plate. No remaining, I would say. Or no from the previous print, my friend. Confirm. Enable the print quality, the print calibration, yes. You can view it. The 3D model has been printed. Close. Enable. So let's see what happens now. The printer seems to be downloading the model. And at some point, probably going to start the print. Is it starting? At least here on the menu, I can't see anything yet. So the printer is not doing anything yet. It should start the print, right? So Chat, are you still there, guys? Is there anyone there? It's quite quiet at the moment. Pretty quiet. I'm wondering, what is the printer doing? Nothing. Cloud slice. Oh, do I have to start this now? Did it one more time. Okay, something happening now. Here we go. Good, so the printer is starting now. Okay. Getting ready to print. I'm curious if this print is going to be okay. First layer is a success to print. The app just reminded me that the first layer is a key success factor for printing. I totally agree. On the app we can see the progress. So why don't we create a little mixture here? Let's do a remix of this stream. Just a second. Let's do this. Let's do that. So you can't see the nozzle at the moment because it's on the left hand side, it's not visible. Here you can see it. So it's currently doing this little calibration here. Should probably touching the print pad with the nozzle. Okay, Bob Seymour is still there. William Martian Harris is still there. I was just wondering because it was so quiet, no one was saying anything. Music is still running. Let's turn it down a little bit. Okay. Good. So it seems that the printer is now almost ready to do the print. Or is it still doing the leveling? Might be. Yeah, it seems that it's doing a first layer calibration now, and it's probably going through all of the points in a second. Yeah, it's doing another 25 points calibration. We will have to wait for that to complete. I'm not sure if it's going through a whole bed leveling. Might be. Is it? Yeah, it's probably doing it. Yeah. So probably another 2 minutes to start the print. Bobsima, it's not as fast as the Prusa, but it's okay compared with my old Ender 3 Pro, yeah? The Prusa Mark IV, you say, probably, with the new software. I'm not sure if it's faster or so much faster, so much slower. The MQ3S, yeah, okay. Well, that Prusa, I had the printer until last year, and it was, I must agree, the first layer bed leveling is super fast on the Prusas. But that was also the reason when I saw the Prusa doing the first layer calibration. That's what motivated me to also tune my Marlin configuration on my Ender 3v2 once I still had Marlin running on that printer, to be or to have all my Ender printers a super fast calibration procedure. So I really reduced the time to, I think, under 2 minutes for a 7x7 mesh, but you can see the video on my channel, so I've made a pretty extensive video about that, how I did it with Marlin firmware. And now with Clipper I did the same, so I really reduced the first layer calibration quite a lot. So I would say it's really comparable with the Prusa, but you have to do some work to figure out your settings, but it's absolutely doable. So I would say even that here can be improved with, like, if you had access to Clipper and the configuration, you would probably be very much able to improve that. Now it's probably ready to start, hopefully. Is it? Okay. But still, I mean, even though it was cleaning the nozzle, is it doing another cleaning? Yeah. I was just wondering, there was stuff hanging from the nozzle and still, yeah, now it's doing the final one, and now it's coming back. And remember, guys, I didn't do anything in terms of calibration, right? No paper sheet, no leveling knobs, nothing, right? We did nothing to do any kind of calibration. So in that regard, this printer is definitely more intelligent, figuring out the right first layer distance, right? If you ever had any of these previous models, it's definitely a difference. The question is, yeah, it's starting to print this Sharky. The question is that already enough to print everything, or do we need to do anything in terms of the first layer? Do we need to tweak any settings? From what I see at the moment, I see no reason why we would have to set anything, do any tweaking or something to the first layer. Looks pretty good. Looks really good. Bobsima, yes, your video was the reason why I did the modification. Yeah. Good to hear that someone used my my videos for that. I mean, I got some feedback on that stuff, but it's always like, how many people are really doing that? There should be a pressure sensor under the bed. Is there any? There might be. That's a very good question. Can I see anything there? There is something, probably that is the pressure sensor. There is some sensor under the bed, but there's some electronics under the bed. That might be what you're talking about. So it has a way to figure out what is the perfect nozzle distance. I was wondering if the sensor is under the bed or if it's like above the nozzle, so the nozzle is pressing against this strain gauge sensor. But it seems like if you're right, then the sensor is in the bed and not in the nozzle or above the nozzle. Yeah, left front. You're right. There is something here. It's definitely the left front, where the left front screw is going into the bed. I can show it. Yeah, we probably can take a look in a second, or I'll do it differently. Just give me 1 more second. I'll give you the close-up as a photo. Maybe that's enough. And take a look. Here it is. Hope I can do a photo. It's a little blurry. Maybe we'll do a little video clip. Not so sure if this is visible. Here we go. I can show the video. Phone screen share. Ooh. Here we go. This is the little clip. You see there is the sensor, front left corner. There we go, this is the sensor. And that's how the printer detects nozzle pressure, and that's why the nozzle is going down. And that's exact position here to push on the print bed, and then this sensor detects the nozzle touching. Okay, so you have actually 2 sensors. You have the strain gauge sensor here, and you have the CR touch for the bed leveling. Good, so far. So we can bring up the Creality app one more time. Let's do that. There we go. Not sure if this is working. The strange part is it's working only once, then I have to close this application. Yes. Come on. Okay, so now is it working? Is it not? Interesting. Where's my window? Here we go. There we go. So you see this is the status of the app. So we see the progress here. We can see how long it is going to take. And if we had a camera on this printer, we would also be able to see the camera. That is an additional add-on that is available for the printer, but it was not in the package. So I will definitely ask Creality to send me the additional camera so we can test out the intelligent functions with the AI and failure detection that they claim to have for this printer. I'm really curious to see both things together in action. So let's see if they agree on this, or if they have it ready. I'm not sure if it's actually really done yet. How much is, Simon asks how much the printer is. Probably you mean how much it costs. At the moment, it is, it's about 300 euros, for example, at 3D Jake, but it's not discounted at the moment. So if you want to get it, you probably want to wait until there's a kind of a discount. Unfortunately, I don't have a discount code yet for this printer. If I get any discount code in the future, I will announce it here in the video description of this live stream. Maybe check out, I will also post about that in my Discord channel and also here on the YouTube community on my channel. So I probably post it on some places. If I get a discount for this printer, you're gonna know it. But at the moment I think it's not yet discounted. Here we go. Yeah, $279. Yeah, probably depends on the country also, where you're living. Anyways, the shark is coming out pretty nicely. Let me try. Can we show this? Let's see. Let me try something. Okay. Phone camera, is it working? No. Here we go. Look at this. Why is it not 16 by 9, my friend? What's going on? Why is it so weird? That's very strange, actually. It's not 16 by 9, but anyways, you can see the shark already coming to reality here. Yeah, sorry for the audio. I think the phone cam is probably have to disable this. Okay. Sorry for the echo. That was probably the phone also creating a second audio, and that was causing some issues. Still dual audio? Do we still have some weird echo? I hope not. Is fine now? Is the audio hopefully not having any echo or reverb at the moment? Okay, so that was the Epoch Cam app. So that's a phone app that is streaming through OBS, and it's probably creating another audio signal, a second microphone basically. Good. Tutum Carmen is here. Hey, welcome to the stream. We're just doing a test of the Ender 3 V3KE. We did a first Benchy test sprint. This was the first result. Actually, my camera here is... I'm pretty happy about the new camera here. Although it's actually technically a little bit less fancy than the previous one. It has this nice feature of product showcase feature. So if you hold anything into the camera, it immediately focuses on it. But this was the first Benchy test. Let's see how close can we go. Oh my goodness, it's really close. Nice. So this was the first Banshee. Now we're printing a shark, articulated shark, and the rest print time, remaining print time is, how much is it? One hour, so probably not gonna wait one more hour for the print to finish, but I will show you the final result once it's done. So we're gonna post some pictures on my Instagram. So Instagram, if you're not subscribed, I'm gonna post my Instagram alias here in the chat. And also Twitter, X, same alias. Usually I post, I don't know, not every single day, but when I do something on a printer or on anything regarding a build or something like the V100 print that I'm currently doing, I'm gonna post pictures there to update everyone on the progress. Hi Jörg, welcome. Welcome from Germany. So I'm posting on Instagram and Twitter about the updates, changes that I'm doing, and some little progress besides beneath, in between the streams and in between the videos that I'm making. So sometimes I also do little short videos. Not so much at the moment, but yeah, I'm probably gonna post some clips there once I've done something. So I guess from the perspective of functionality of this printer, I guess this is fine. The cloud functionality seems to be good. We can print from the app, which I think is a super nice improvement. Like if you're coming from something like an Ender 3v2, which was the printer that I had before, having Wi-Fi on a printer and then also having this full integration with the mobile app and also on the computer, you can do basically slicing with the Creality slicer, which is a very much convenient software, very similar to what we had before, something like Prusa Slicer or Cura. And then you can send it to your printer. The thing is, you can do it from any location where you have internet access, so it's not really dependent on whether you are in the same network as the printer. You can just send it over Creality Cloud if you have logged in your printer and your phone or also your computer into Creality Cloud. You can send it, then it's printed. And really the last thing that I'm missing to test here is what about the remote camera feature that's supposed to be an add-on for this printer. How is it working? Probably over the USB. The question is though, since this is, I mean, we can test one thing, we can just figure out if a normal USB camera, standard USB camera, works on this printer. So let's see. Grabbing. So I have no idea if this is going to work, but I mean this is a camera that I mean have a lot of these little cameras here. The Microsoft HD, I think HD 3000, one of the cheapest webcams you can get. The question is, does this camera work on this printer? Because if it's a clipper printer, it should theoretically work, right? So I mean, it should be detected and it should maybe work. I have no idea. We can figure that out. Probably not during the print. No connection to camera. Use a camera and connect it to the printer it can help keep an eye on your prints and generate time-lapse video to play back the whole process. So the question is there any AI on top of that? So if I plug in a camera, which I did, what do I need to do to have it detected? Probably I need to restart the printer. Can you at some point, William Martin Harris is a question, can you at some point test whether when you deactivate the Wi-Fi on the printer, whether it activates the Wi-Fi itself when you switch it on again? A little sad that it does that. Can you at some point test whether when you deactivate the Wi-Fi on the printer, whether it activates the Wi-Fi itself when you switch it on again? Okay, so you're asking, like, if I disable the Wi-Fi now and then turn off the printer, turn on the printer again, and then what happens, right? We can test it. We can also just, I mean, one thing that I'm always curious. Clipper by default, if you have a default version of Clipper running on a printer, resuming prints is not really a thing, right? So there is no built-in print resume. You have to basically install that as an additional plugin, and I think it's still kind of a thing to tweak, so it's not like super easy to do. You know what? I've just turned off the printer. I'm really curious what happens if we turn on the printer. Printer has just lost its power, right? So that can happen. So we turn on the power now. Let's figure out what happens. Let's see. Printer is booting up. Does it even know it anymore that it did print? Let's figure that out. I'm waiting for the booting. Machine startup in process. It looks like the last file was interrupted. Resume. Okay. Okay. It has a print resuming function. Let's see if it works. So the printer is still halted. And it's really stuck at the point where it stopped printing when I turned off the power. So let's see what happens now. I've just said, yes, resume. I'm not doing anything else. And on screen I can see at least that it's warming up one more time. Probably warming up and then hopefully just continuing the print. But that's a good sign. That's a good sign. Okay, the printer has linear shaping to compensate vibration. Nice. Now the printer has resumed printing. And do we have any problems? Let's see. Is it just continuing the print? It seems so. Seems fine. So it apparently can pick up a print after power loss, which is appreciated, right? However, what you should know, and I think that's clear, if you have a power loss that is pretty long, like let's say an hour or something, or even half an hour, and everything cools down to the point where the print starts releasing from the print surface, and then you want to resume the print, you might have complete detachment of the print. So that's why I would say the power resuming is you shouldn't overestimate the capabilities, right? So if you have a short power outage, let's say it just goes down for a minute and then it comes back and you just go down to the printer and resume it, everything's gonna be fine. But if you have a long outage, it's probably not gonna stick anymore. Sound is off. Can you still hear me? Well, at least on my levels, I can see that I'm talking, so it should be, you should hear me, right? Can you hear me? Okay, so it was just for a second because I had to sneeze. Sorry. Good. So power off works on this printer, but yeah, I wouldn't overestimate that because print detachment is a thing. What else? Can we now use the camera since I've now turned off the printer? The printer has restarted, so is it now detecting the camera? Let's see if that is actually working, because a complete power off should also restart the firmware. Does the printer camera device work properly? Well, it is, at least it's not, doesn't have any power, so it's not turned on. So the question is, can we somehow turn on the camera? No connected camera. Is it maybe not supporting the Microsoft camera? That is the question. Not sure if I have to do any settings, printer, other controls. Do I have to enable the camera in the menu or something? Is this something that we have to do here? We can try settings, camera, video list. Doesn't really give me anything in the list. Camera settings, AI detection. There is something about AI defect detection. The question is, can I use my camera? At least the good old Microsoft webcam. Is it not possible? Maybe I want to unplug the USB stick. Let's see. I want to use the first USB port maybe. The camera is briefly blinking, but it is not in the list of cameras for some reason. Maybe I need a different camera. I'm not sure if this is supported, so it might be, might be not. Can figure out if I could have another one here. Maybe I have the C920. I could be here. I'm not 100% sure if I have one left from one of the older printers. Might be one in this box here, but maybe not. There's also just Microsoft C300. Unfortunately not. I don't have a C920 available. Might be an option. Also not in this box here. Oh my goodness, I touched the camera. Good. Or not good. Yeah. That's unfortunate. I don't know why camera is not detected. Maybe it is really about the model of the camera, or maybe they only support their own cameras. I don't know. So for me, I don't know how to figure that out at the moment, so probably have to look it up, whether this is something that we can in any way influence. For me, it doesn't show anything in this list of video cameras, or we have to upgrade the firmware. Maybe it's then supported. But that's something maybe for another update on this channel. For the time being, I would say, since this is still going to print for another half hour, I would suggest that I'm gonna post the final result on Instagram tomorrow. And we'll take a look at the open questions. So if you have any open questions regarding features of the printer, things that I should be testing in the next couple of days, please, 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 tomorrow this stream is going to be pushed on YouTube, and then you have a chance to like comment underneath the video and ask me any question. Please post what you want me to test. So if you have anything specific that you want me to test, to take a look at, besides the things that I always do, or if you say, please print this thing on the printer to show the result, I will do this in the next couple of days. I will do all kinds of test prints and then posting the results on my social media. So let me know what you want me to test, right? Let me know what I should take a look at and post it underneath the video on YouTube once it goes live tomorrow. Like the stream is going to be basically rendered overnight, and it's going to go live on YouTube tomorrow. So, or if you're in the US, probably it's like, I don't know, in the evening. Today, because of the time zone shift. Let me know what I should do, what you want me to test, what kinds of things you want me to print, and then we'll take a look in the next couple of days. You can also do the same on Discord. Just check out the Discord channel. I am opening a new channel underneath the Creality section, and we're gonna name it Ender 3 V3KE. Just created that channel in the Creality section of the Discord server. So we can discuss anything also there, right? So just hop on the Discord server and ask questions there, or post it underneath the video once it goes live on YouTube, and we're gonna talk about it in the next couple of days. Hello, hello, hello. You're probably joining late. Question is from Bogey Down. Is Clipper open source on the K3? On the K3? You mean the KE? Is it open source? Not that I'm aware of, but Creality also made some kind of announcements around open source, so we probably have to watch out for them. If there's anything coming, then we'll definitely take a look. If this is going on GitHub or somewhere. I didn't see that yet, so I'm really, yeah, I hope that they will do it. Let's see what happens. Hi there from New Zealand, from Craig Pigbob. Hello Craig, you're probably joining late. We're almost done with the stream for tonight. It's pretty late in Germany, it's 11:30 in the evening, so I'm going to bed now. And so I wish you all a good night or a good day, depends where you are. And as again, just mentioning this last time, go on Discord. There is a Creality section and a special channel for the Ender 3 V3KE. If you have any questions, post it there, or wait for the video to appear on YouTube tomorrow or later in this day, and post your questions underneath the video in the comment section, and I'm taking a look. Tell me what you want me to test, models that you want me to do on the printer, things that you want me to look at in terms of the Clipper, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.